Hey, YouTube. It's been a journey. It's been one hell of a journey. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm doing this in a single stream. So we're going to finish up ReZero tonight. So, yeah, for you guys, it might be 3 episodes in. For us, it's one single night. We're knocking it out. And greetings Vimeo, greetings MySpace, all of the above. What was it, like Japan, Asia talent, whatever, the copyright people, it's fine, everyone's included. I just hope that you guys are having a great night. Practice some self-care. Mods, you guys have control over Streamlabs as well. You guys can go, yes, I believe you guys can kill it. Practice some self-care. And why don't we just go ahead and just jump into it? Oh shit, they're just going right at it. Oh hell. That's a fucking oof. Oh. Garth is just savage. Wait, but how'd she recover from this? That's right, she just can't die. Yeah. Of course she would say something like that. Oh, he's hyping him up. This is how you know it's a golden run. What the fuck? This cut. Oh. Oh. Tra. Oh. And Otto, of course. So this just makes me curious right off the bat, yeah? How much damage has to be done to Elsa in order for her to just, completely stop, right? If I was a villain, and I know I've explained this before, what would I do to go ahead and stop him? That's not psychological, because you can psychologically damage a person if you really wanted to. But if, Elsa was inside of the building, and so was the other girl, how would I try and flush him out? Or even if I was in the bad side trying to destroy the good players without getting as involved, right? What would you guys do to go ahead and try it? Without calling Reinhardt? You don't have time to call Reinhardt. What would you do? What I would do is I would set fire all the way around the mansion and even in the mansion, right? And you just flush them out with smoke, especially if they don't want to come out. So I wonder, right? But then the question becomes, can she regenerate as fast as her lungs can carry her if her lungs are already filled with gas and dying? And that's sort of where I'm pushing it, It's either that or just burn her. That's what I would do. Because clearly, for example, with Elsa, he just went at her eye. Boom, she regenerated. What else would you do? Reinhardt beat her up with the stick. Boom, she's back at it. Leave the rabbits over there. Yeah. I mean, that's one aspect, right? But you'd have to book it because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of rabbits that you'd have to outrun as well. So that's a rough one. But I have to say, I don't know. Also for me, in general, the way that she behaves, the way that she acts, especially going after the bowels of people and the intestines and whatnot, it's she's a doll. That's the best way I can put it, right? It's sort of a fucked up Pinocchio type thing, or the Tin Man, where all they seek out is to go ahead and have something that's out there to try and get an emotion, to try and get a rise out of it. Sometimes you see this with a lot of people that have trauma in their past. I don't know how to put it. I have a case that I'm working on, right? And individuals like this usually tend to, I don't know how to put it, search for something that they've always had, or search for it's a very narcissistic trait, but it's also based off of their trauma specifically towards them. So for example, really good example, hoarders. There we go. We'll throw it out there. People that keep getting a bunch of shit that they don't need, right? And then they're they're complaining about it, and they're like, oh, but it's just like, I need to have this like one particular thing, trading cards, whatever it may be, right? So they just keep buying and collecting them even if they don't need them, and they have a stockpile, and it just becomes too much, right? Where does this stem from? And that's where you got to ask yourself, not so much about the trading cards or all of that, right? Because all of that is like, you can be thrown away. That's the baseline, right? It's like, oh, she's looking for like, intestines, or she wants to assassinate you. That's baseline. The real question is why. Where does this stem from? What is her history, right? And the way that she acts and reacts, and the way that she carries her interactions with others, sort of, even if it's like being hired to do these things, you got to ask yourself, what is happening? Where are you at that you actually have to go ahead and take that, right? Like, accept the contract that is given. So it's like, you know what? The best way that I can put it is like, why are you getting so excited over seeing people's expressions and emotions, and the fact that someone's actually willing to keep up and give those emotions to you in a fight? And if you guys don't know, if you're ever in martial arts or something like that, it's like the way that you fight, or the way that you're able to like cling on to life, or whatever it is, it's one of the purest forms of expressing true emotions in general. And that's why you'll often see like martial arts be called an art, right? Because it's an artistic way to express yourself or express your emotions as you fight. So that's just a very, very interesting idea to throw out there, an idea to like cling, is like, where does she stand in this? Why is she doing this certain scenario? And why is she pushing like to feel or see these certain emotions? Going from there. Yeah. Anyway. Oh shit, that's a big doggo. Wait, doesn't that make the fire worse if it's concentrated? Yeah, bruh. Oh, that's right. It's got to sparse out throughout the room, doesn't it? Oil. Okay. Okay. So they're using fire at least. Now the only like issue is you have something that's on fire inside of the mansion. All right. Damn. Big brain moves here. Yes, but like, this is me, like, that was me thinking like a villain. This is me thinking as a hero. It's like, no, you don't do that. Bruh. Oh. 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 All right, Emilia, before we continue, you know how brave that is of Otto, though? To like literally just go in there and do stuff? Like, even carrying, best way that I can put it, like carrying Ram and whatnot, and just accepting it and moving through. And I'm sure that he could probably hear what like the animals and whatnot are like saying and yelling and all of that. Like, yeah, it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot to go ahead and take in. It's a lot to go ahead and like realize that like he has literally done so much for Subaru just in that terms, right? But anyway, yeah, no, Otto's just the best boy. Where are we at this time? What are you showing? That's what I'm thinking. You're probably showing her a branch of the many like timelines, right? Like, you know what this feels like? And I hate to throw it out there. This, I'll wait till this finish it, and then I'll give my What? All right, before we continue, I feel like all of those things that we were just hearing and whatnot are all the different timeline possibilities for Subaru. And the reason why someone would go ahead and throw something like this, and you guys might be like, oh, but why, right? It's like, I'm thinking about like, where can Subaru go as an individual and do certain things, right? It's like, okay, if Subaru turned evil at any given point, right? Like, if he even met Emilia, because his whole attachment has been a really anxious, like attachment to Emilia, clinging onto her for dear hope. But if at the very, very beginning he kept dying, even like he couldn't get past Elsa, it just kept happening 1,000 times over. What would happen that would lead a man to go from trying to protect Hope and like getting close to them to protect Hope to becoming like a villain, right? So that first shot when we see like all the destruction and everything and her saying I hate you and all of that just like automatically like puts my brain like, what if all of this is a centralized like different timelines of like him doing an action in which he's evil, him doing an action in which he explored the world, him doing an action in which like he didn't eat like, I don't know, Cocoa Puffs for cereal, him doing an action where he decided, oh, you know what, I'm going to take Amelia on a date and nothing goes wrong until he gets home and he's poisoned, or random shit like that, right? And it's like, let me throw all of these futures at you and see if you're even prepared to go ahead and talk about what may come, right? Because the futures, even though you see something, this is a very poetic use that he's done and he's used, they've done and they've used over time and time again throughout, like, I guess even throughout the show, where it's like, oh, like, let me bring off a Shakovian gun, which is like the white whale, right? And like, just like announce it, like just here and there. And it's like, no one has been able to beat it. What happens? Boom, they beat it. So futures are not necessarily set in stone, as they are just a parameter to work around. What I'm interested in is like, if Echidna, and this is specifically towards Echidna, was able to go ahead and see a future in which Subaru was like, how would I put it? Like, if she saw a future in which like Subaru followed Roswell's, like, the tome or whatever of wisdom to a T, then all of these branching timelines that are available, like, especially the one that like they're currently in, is an undetermined timeline for her. Right? Because if like what was supposed to follow was like he's going to keep failing until he follows the tomb because there's no other success way, and all of a sudden he found his own success way, like, yeah, that's probably the best way that I can throw it out there. It's like, so then there's clearly undefined terms and conditions that are going to go ahead and like, break the timeline that you see fit. I haven't read any of the F stories, guys. Not at all. Like, if I would have read the F stories, I would have announced it on Discord. I haven't had time for anything. So I haven't even read, like, the first book on anything. But yeah, that's just sort of my thoughts. It's like, the futures that are being shown are not necessarily futures yet to come. It was more of, like, stuff that's happened in different timelines that can be rather impacting. But anyway. Oh, wow. Back to the tea party, eh? Fucking Echidna. Where's the salt, guys? Damn. I'm sure, yeah. It was a possible one, yes. All right. Oh, thank God. I was like, or am I reaching out? Oh, gosh.
した顔どうしてできるの？え？だって変じゃない。あんなにいっぱい嫌な未来ばっかり見て、なのに。
でも絶対じゃないんでしょ。あんな風になる未来もある。だけどああならない未来もある。それが分かれば大丈夫。私はぐっと戦えるわ。
Good on you for actually standing up and trying to fight it.
すぐに振り返らないのが正解って言ったでしょ。
Aww. But what does she know? That was an interesting scene. That's the best way I can put it. That was a really interesting scene. If you were to go ahead and capitulate the relationship, it's more like, how would I put it? When, for example, if your best friend passes away and you see their child growing up and you see them, you know, actually start to take actions and maybe even react in a certain way. It's more like knowing what, like, the struggles that someone has been through, rather than anything. Like, I don't know, it came off very, like, motherly, if anything, but it wasn't so much like that. It doesn't draw me immediately to, like, oh, yeah, no, I'm like her mother, because that's not how this author works at all. It's more like, oh, like, I've seen the struggles and the length and everything that you've gone through as an individual, and to, like, start making your own decisions and start, like, even, like, adapting to other people, like, you know, claiming who you are, claiming your individuality and whatnot. It also kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know how to put it. And this is gonna sound really fucked up, but, like, with some of my like, parents that go ahead and adopt kids, right? And it's like, when you start seeing the child grow up, especially, like, all the friends, like the really, really close friends to the family, are always, like, cheering them on, you know, like, hey, like, you know, you're doing your own actions, your own self, so on and so forth, right? So what I'm getting at is, like, it feels as though it's more of, like, a love that comes from the actions of actually being a self-advocate for yourself than anything else. And that's probably the best way that I can put it. It's like, I don't know how to put it. Like, there's something more brewing under the water that, like, of course, clearly is there. But what is the importance of that scene, or, like, where does that leave sort of the transitions that we've seen and the clear giveaways that we've seen towards, like, breaking the chain of fate, and you're not dictated by your parents' actions, right? Which is something huge that ReZero has always, like, thrown against. So do I think that, like, any, like, that witch specifically was, like, her mom? No, I would see her more like a god mom, or, you know, like a best friend that's always been there for the kid. And just seeing my nephew grow up and actually start taking actions for himself and start standing up for himself. I'm proud of him. I'm like, yo, dude, that's amazing. Like, heck yeah, you know? So that's pretty cool. But anyway. Oh, damn. Damn, she wrote, like, digicodes. Excuse? What? Does she look all old and stuff, or? Oof. Of course, the butterfly design. Damn, why wouldn't there be a butterfly design? Oh. Oh shit. Oh, don't tell me this is a bad arc. It's not. Okay. They're still fighting. They're still going. How do you handle all this shit? Yeah, she brought the lasagna. It's time to go all out here. Damn.
それは頭がおかしいという意味の慣用句よ。
Let's go. It's a tag team match for the title. Oh, well, at least she's not completely inhuman. She still catches her. Oof. Let's go. Let's go. Oof. Oof. Even I'm ducking. Ah, bro, why you gotta call in snakes? Ooh, Garf, no! Yeah, there we go. Ooh, damn! Damn! Oh, don't tell me. Is he gonna suplex it? Is he gonna suplex it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! And he lifts! And he lifts! Oh! Oh, never mind. Oh! Oh, shit! Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, someone's a little scared. Okay. If I keep killing you until you die, you'll die. Vampire? I don't know, dude. Trauma based. So I guess I kind of called it. I guess. Like, my whole thing is, if the villain is giving a monologue, bro, why don't you just go ahead and smack them in the face? Like, the moment she started her backstory, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. Like, I do give a shit as a watcher because I'm getting more of the experience. But realistically, like, if I was in Garth's shoes and my opponent just started giving off a fucking monologue about his backstory, I wouldn't give a fuck. You're trying to kill me. Like, no. But this just blows my mind a little bit. Like, so there is a lot of trauma-based, like, responses off of that. And, you know, with individuals that are, especially when it comes to, like, I guess a lot of abuse trauma, right? A lot of people tend to go into a shell of themselves. So in a big way, that is kind of like, you know, just allowing in for a doll like feature to sit in, you know? He's a gentleman, he wouldn't hit a lady. I believe in gender equality, I guess, in fighting. But anyway, bro, you better duck and weave. Duck and weave, bro. Gonna let that shit just fall on her. You should have just, nope. You gotta, oh, all right. A bit weird, but all right. I'll take that as an approach. Garth is eating his lasagna. That's one way to take her down, I guess. Give her a hickey, man. Sure. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, she found her crush again. Oh no. Oh. Oh no. Oh, that was a weird jujitsu move I haven't seen before, Garth. Where you just go up to a person, you nibble on their neck, and you get up, you pick up a big rock, and you squash them. That's one way of dealing with the situation, right? Uh, that's yeah, that's just insane. High instinct. Sorry about Streamlabs. Just let them be for a bit, and it'll fix itself. But anyway, yeah, that's insane. Like that is actually a really really cool fight scene, if anything. Oh, we're back. We're back over here. Let's go. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? Like, we know that Puck and Roswell can go like toe to toe without any issues, but like, oh, bro, shut the fuck up. Yeah, like that's rough. Oh no. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh. Literally. Oh. Oh. Damn. Oh. All right, dude. All right. I don't think she gives a shit about that. Like, bro, if it was Rem, I would be like, yeah, she'd like back in the day, she'd totally be into that. But like Ram the entire time has been one of the most consistent characters where it's like, I've grown from my past. I'm not going into like my mistakes of my past. I actually care about going forward and developing future relationships. And it's like, even a blind person can see this, right? And it just blows my mind that like him being so manipulative and smart in a lot of different aspects cannot actually see that, like, at least in my perspective, Ram doesn't give a crap about like getting justice for whatever happened. Because like the only time she actually got angry was when like Rem died. And it was like the whole getting Roswell involved, you know, Subaru ends up jumping off the cliff, right? So I'm just surprised that he can't connect these dots and be like, oh, so then what do you want, right? Or maybe it's a promise he made to himself or something like that. But using it as an excuse really shows how self-absorbed he is at the moment, where it's like always facing back, always trying to make sure that like, I don't know how to put it, like always trying to like catch yourself in living in the past. And that's what sucks. And this is what a lot of people don't get. And like, I guess I'll just throw this out there. If your friend is going through any, or if you yourself, your friend, whatever it may be, is going through any like issues with their past or whatever, it takes a while. It's never a straight line. Know that there are relapses. It happens, guys. It's completely normal. But you also have to come to the realization that like they will get to the here and now. And sometimes we have to remind them that like, you know, the past is the past, and it'll live on through our memories, right? Because that's pretty much the only thing of our experiences that we get to go back and be able to say that something happened. Even though they do get rewritten in a more positive aspect over time, that's just science. That's just the way it is. That's the way our mind actually copes with some of the trauma or some of the embarrassment or some of the stuff that happens. But, you know, it's just being open to the idea of being in the present. Right? Because some people either live way off in the future and they make all these goals, and even if they never achieve those goals, they still keep throwing out other goals, which is nice in case you need that motivation to go ahead and get there. Some people just live in the past, and it's hard, you know, especially if you've ever met up with someone or been in a relationship in which your partner just keeps living in the past. It's really hard to try and get them like to be active consciously here in the present through any phenomenon. So it's just important to bring that up. It's an important topic to go ahead and breach, because sometimes even some of you guys, I don't know, if you guys are like, you know, using any form of coping mechanism or whatnot, try to remember as much as you can to be here in the present and be yourself and practice that self-care, because that's what it's all about. Oh, Ram.
どうかされましたか？
What is he gonna come out and say? I love Emilia.
私をからかっているのかこの後に及んで
Well, I love Echidna technically.
何を言っている憎き相手だ
Oh, come on.
故郷を滅ぼした原因に関わる男だ事実君も私を殺したいほど憎んでいたはずだ
Yeah, but that's the past. Exactly.
違います。ラムは今あなたを愛しています。
一体誰がそんな安っぽい感情を信じる復讐はどうする同胞たちの魂に誓ったはずじゃないのか
Ooh. I can already tell a topic that probably a lot of people are confused about, or especially if like people that don't really understand psychology would probably throw out there. And I hate to, but my brain just like hit a bunch of dots. There's probably a good portion of people that actually think that this whole like her loving him is a part of Stockholm syndrome or some aspect like that, which I would be willing to put money that like people genuinely believe this without actually doing research as to it, like as to how things would like not necessarily be in that way, and also use cultural appropriate, like, you know, go into a cultural appropriate setting, understand what's happening. And my big thing is like, I understand that like Garth is probably going to be destroyed about this, but like, you know, she was taking it at a young age or whatever. A lot of people think that, yeah, no. There's a big difference in between someone using like there being some weird power dynamics and this being Stockholm syndrome. If it was Stockholm syndrome, she wouldn't have any feasible way to actually get out of wherever she's at. You know, it would be a complete control aspect. Granted, he might be a manipulative individual, but yet we see time and time again where, you know, she's expressing herself freely. There's concern not only for him, but for others as well. There's like, I just saw like message deleted. It just popped up like red on my screen. Damn, what happened? Someone trying to spoil something? Damn. Anyway, yeah, good job, Mods. You got to it way before I saw anything. But anyway, yeah, that's just my thing. Is like, it feels as though like, oh, there would be a lot of confusion about this just because like, oh, he would take her into her, like his room and probably like heal her or whatever, right? Again, there's a difference between having power dynamic issues and someone in Stockholm syndrome. And it's like doing the fair research of understanding where power dynamics comes, where attachment and like relationship comes versus going to the extreme and labeling something immediately as like, oh, it's Stockholm syndrome. Oh, he's using Milgram experiment to understand where power dynamic lies. And it's like, guys, like, we have to try and understand, the many different forms of, I guess, settings, or whatnot. So that's just the best way that I can put it. So, anyway. Oh, okay. We're doing some funhouse tricks in here. Ooh. My dude going all out. You got played. Oh. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Throw that in the fire. Burn that bitch. Let's go. Oh dude, you got kissed once and you got hooked. Come on. Come on, bro. Destroy it. Yes. Burn it. Yes. Let's go. Dang. What the fuck did I just watch? That ending. Is Ram okay? Y'all scare me. This episode. Oh, you were literally like willing to take a hit or die for your love, even though it's unrequited. Oof. Oof. She got sent blasting off again. This is like Team Rocket. God. That was intense, y'all. Rip F in the chat. Oh. Wow. I'm still trying to process shit. And oh, that's it. That's it. What an episode. Holy shit. Is that an episode? Damn. Okay. So I did not expect things to go down that way, but I also didn't not expect certain scenarios to be brought up, and certain things about like whether or not, like, I don't know, like, you know, their dynamic, you know, whether Puck would step in, whether or not, like, just in general, like how easy it would be for Emilia to accept that their trial, which she just seemed perfectly okay with it. That's why it's like the first trial was the hardest for her, right? So that's actually really, really nice. It showed a lot of like character development for Emilia and whatnot. I guess I'm just excited for what's to come, and I'm excited for season 3 specifically. Like, you know, what future awaits this show and where they're going to take it. Are we finally going to see like Julius back in the show, or Reinhardt? Are we going to see Subaru become a knight in season 3? That would be fucking sick. Like, call him like, I don't know, the never ending night, or return by death. No, you can't use that. Like the Phoenix Knight or something. That would be fucking sick. Like, I'm just excited. Season 3 has, like, my expectations are high for season 3. I do know that some people are talking that there's apparently some issues with the studio, so it might get delayed. So hopefully that gets fixed. But yeah. Subaru getting a giant sword. Yeah. But anyway, while I process, yes, I can go ahead and do that. Give me 1 second. Anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts about the episode. What works good, what doesn't. What did you guys dislike about the episode when you guys first watched it? But anyway, that was a phenomenal fight. That was oof. For some reason, I expected her to be like set on fire. I was like, this is how you end this girl. But no, apparently not.